Good morning, crew. This is our third morning in the house, and I want to tell you what happened yesterday. Still progress being made. It was a bit of a frustrating day because actually I think I'm going to cut in. I went out this morning and took drone footage around the house, and maybe I'll cut some of that in while I'm telling you what happened yesterday morning, because yesterday morning was kind of a downer. It was frustrating. Our plan yesterday was to buy a car, to try to buy a car and try in earnest to do that. So I called the dealership. There's a car that we're interested in about an hour drive from here. And I called the dealership and I said, hey, this is our situation. We're Americans. We're not going to live full time in the UK, but we're going to be here like 3 to 4 months a year. We want to buy a car. What do we need to worry about in order to do that? I mean, what do we need to do? And he said, you probably need to talk to insurance agents because you're going to need insurance. And I don't know. And he said he didn't know how to get us insurance. So he gave me some people to talk to. So or websites, essentially. He said, go to these big companies. He said, usually there's an insurance exchange you can go to, but they're not going to know what to do with you. So we're like, fine. So I talked to Sarah about it, and she was like, I'll call, because that's her thing, right? And so she calls multiple places and spends, how long did you spend, Sarah, on that? Was it like 3 hours, 4 hours?
A long time.
On
45 minutes on the phone with the guy.
Yeah, on trying to figure out how we would get insurance. And in the end, she finally got on the phone with somebody who said, yeah, we can get you insurance, no problem. And so she goes through 45 minutes with this guy, and he was actually kind of an interesting character. He would go off on tangents and talk about things. It was kind of funny. But then he gets all the way to the end, and he's like, so where are you going to park the car when you're not there? And we said, well, there's a public parking garage with long-term parking in it. And he said, okay, is it going to be secure? And we said, well, it'll be secure at night. And he was like, well, but the public can get in during the day. And we're like, yeah. And he leaves to go, he gets off so he's a broker, essentially. He's trying to find, somebody who'll insure. And he comes back and he's like, I'm sorry, I can't find anyone who will insure you. So we were like, okay, maybe we're not going to buy a car. But I think we're going to follow up again in the future, because I'm wondering, because I think the insurance that we signed up for included like damage to the car, so they'll replace the car if something happens to it. Whereas if we could just get liability insurance, I think, we're kind of okay with that. Of course, then if you wreck the car, your car is a total loss. But I just, the issue is, I suspect if we find anyone who will insure it under those conditions, what they're worried about is it's going to get vandalized, right, when we're not here. And so, if we can insure it without that being covered, that might make a difference. So anyway, that while Sarah was doing that, I was trying to make a video for you, Karu, yesterday's video. And so I shot a little video, and while she was doing all that, I shot video early in the morning, and I was thinking it's going to take me half an hour, 40 minutes. And then I opened the sound editing software, because I record the sound, and I always try to normalize the sound levels so that my deaf friend can hear them. And my sound editing software won't run. And it ran the day before in the morning when I did the last video, and it just won't work at all. Well, and so I go, this is like way long story, and anyway, it was as horrible as everything. And in the end, I got the new audio software working, but the way that I was doing things historically are no longer in the new software, at least not in the same place. So I haven't figured out how to use the new software yet. So it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. Anyway, so like by noon, both Sarah and I are just like, oh God, this just sucks. We haven't gotten anything done. In the meantime, the cool thing about this is that there were Kai and Marvin were working on installing the radiators. So here in the kitchen, Kai installed radiator there, and in our sitting room, where this electric radiator was left here by Carl, which was really great, he installed this radiator over there. So we were doing all this. We'd move the table over to this side over here and working all this stuff while Kai is like literally plumbing water here, drilling holes in the floor and running this whole thing. And actually, Kai and Marvin were awesome. We kept on asking them questions about stuff. So after, I'm going to go up here and show you, they've put back together this space up here. So you can see the doors are all back on. That towel rack, which I showed you yesterday, is in. The flooring, you can see they cut all the carpet back down. Look at these guys. I think, yeah, so this is our new boiler right here. So that will be the hot water heater, and it will go, or the hot water heater and radiator. It will go in this closet, which is once again another one of these closets that's full of just junk. Who knows what's in there? This is the current hot water heater, and that's going to be replaced. So anyway, they've got this stuff all cleaned up in here, which is nice. They vacuumed. And in this back bedroom where we spent the first night, they've got the carpet back down. Now, they didn't put the bed back, but that's okay. Actually, one of the things that I didn't show you yesterday was this area right here. There's a slate hearth right there. So this used to be a fireplace, apparently, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, so they did all this. They got the radiator put in here. So, yeah, that was great, and that's all done now. And so then, Sarah and I, actually, while they were working on that, after our total waste of a morning, Sarah and I went to the store and bought a bunch of stuff, actually, and I'll show you. I don't know if you remember or if I got good footage of it, but this right here, there was a coat rack right there. There were bookshelves with DVDs and actually VHS tapes on it and stuff. And this hallway was just like half of it was taken up, so it was super tight and sketchy. Oh yeah, also we put this room back together because they were using this as the staging room for their working. So they had all their tools and supplies in this room. We're getting rid of that. That is a hide-a-bed, so it weighs a ton. We're gonna have to figure out how to take that out and add it to our pile of stuff outside, which is right there. And we still have, oh, the other thing, sorry, I'm like all over the place here, but we went shopping and we got a shoe rack. Isn't that awesome? A shoe rack with shoes on it. So now we have cleaned things up a little bit, and we're starting to feel like we're a little more at home. And we, of course, moved the coat rack up here where there's a little more space. The last thing I was going to show you was after we got home from that, I went ahead and tackled this closet. And I don't know if you remember what this looked like before, but I took another 3 bags of junk out of here. And we also bought a broom, which we didn't have. And we're holding on to this. I'm going to hold on to this paint for the moment. This is, I know you mentioned all the paint in the shed. There's more paint here, but I'm thinking if there's paint that matches the paint in the house in various places, maybe we can just touch up. So like right here where they took out the storage heater, just, paint that the same color. Where they pulled off this power thing here, just paint it green for the short term, to try to get it looking not quite as horrible. Yeah, in here as well, there was, you can see where they put the radiator over there. So yeah, so I think that's kind of what we did yesterday. Sarah also actually cleaned the cushions on the sofa, and she spent, I don't know, 2 hours doing 2 cushions. She's sitting on them here. Sarah's writing a book. Look at that. This is Sarah writing a book. So the cushion she's sitting on, I don't know if you can see the difference here between this cushion here and the armrest, but one has been cleaned and one hasn't yet. So we've got more of that to go. This needs more cleaning as well. So on the docket today is going to be cleaning out the shed, because it's a beautiful day, as you saw in the drone footage. And then we're going to do an inventory of the house and probably go through and maybe start rearranging beds in different rooms and that sort of thing. So that's what we've got for today. Maybe things will slow down. I don't know. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.